what you're looking at now is the investigation and eDiscovery part of the Arctera Insight platform. So let's follow the investigation as they use the powerful analytics and AI features to find other related items and quickly build their case. And so the analytics dashboard is where a reviewer could start. The analytics dashboard highlights the most commonly used terms in the keyword cloud, participant mapping in the keyword area, showing communication between individual users or groups, and classification tags, including the number of items that have hit on a specific tag. So we could filter out on any of these and then run an immediate search against that. In this case, however, well, I'm looking for communication from monitored employees who've had their items escalated. So let's run a search against one of them in this user communication map and start from there. Now, the searches provide lightning speed. A 2-second or less search against the archive. Now, before I get into my investigation, I want to ensure that nothing can be deleted. To do that, I'm going to save the search and I'm going to place it on legal hold. As you can see, the items are now placed on that legal hold or litigation hold. That means they cannot be deleted either by retention or any other means. And if required, I can run a legal hold report. Now, there are many ways that the escalation manager or legal individual could review these items. We have advanced early case assessment that they could use to further filter the items. However, in this case, because of the urgent nature and potential policy violation that might result in company reputation, I'm going to use the AI assistant to help me understand the participants involved, the timeline, and any other issues that might form from this investigation before I turn it into a case. So let's open our AI assistant. As you can see, we've got 214 emails, 123 collaboration files, and 5 audio or video files. So let's go ahead and see what Insight AI has to offer. Here I'm presented with a number of options. I can summarize by speakers, get the topic, sentiment, timeline, or a timeline table. Or I can simply ask questions of the AI assistant. I'm going to start with a timeline table. And in a relatively short period of time, it has created a table with the date, type, subject, author, and summary. Now I'm drawn immediately to a collaboration conversation about potential insider trading and market leak. And then underneath it, it appears to follow on from that. And it shows the participants involved. Let's ask it for a general timeline. And here you can see the timeline view. I'm also interested to understand what topics were involved. Let's get some more insights. So as you can see, it has summarized the conversation between Hunter and Ryan, which could imply them in insider trading activities. Now, going back to our timeline table, it does appear that the communications were either in a file, that would be an audio or a video file, and a collaboration that's iMessage, WhatsApp, or Teams, or some other collaboration type. There's no emails mentioned in here. So let's head into collaboration. And reading through the collaboration messages, it appears there's a whole bunch of violations going on here, including off-channel communication. Now, immediately what we can do is, if we wanted to, and we hadn't already placed the dataset on hold, we could simply apply it right here. Let's go and view the files. Now, one of the files that the reviewer escalated was this Korean file. So let's use Insight AI to get insights on the file. So from the summarization, it does not appear that this is in any way related, nor does it contain signs of insider trading or market abuse. This one is certainly responsive, and we'll move this to the case. And we could use AI to summarize against hundreds of files to find the relevant items, the ones that relate to the case issues. Since there is no sign of the related conversations in Exchange, in email. We're going to go ahead and search against just the collaboration and files and send it to a case. Insider trading escalation. Let's head into our eDiscovery now. And what you'll notice is that everything for the custodians that we've searched on is placed on legal hold. It is instantly placed, and until you release the hold, those items can never be deleted. You can then modify other case metadata, including reviewers, external reviewers, and other customizations. Legal reviewers can now drill down using search within search and any of the other filters that you see on the left here. But now there's since been mention of some rather sinister ChatGPT prompts that one of the custodians been making. These have been captured by our AI bot capture. So let's head back to investigations. And here we can see one of the custodians asking if there is a way to really bypass surveillance tools and software. So let's also send this to the case. So now with these items, we could either export them immediately, or we could create a review set and assign a number of items. If there's a large case data set, we could assign those items to different reviewers and a percentage of each. At any time during the investigation, if additional data is required for the case that has not been ingested into the archive, perhaps data on a legacy system or loose evidence files, then the legal user can easily and efficiently create a targeted collection against Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, Exchange, and if they have a hybrid EV environment running on-prem, they can collect data from that as well. Or if they needed some additional evidence files, they could import those. These can then be sent to the case for legal review. Once entering a collection name, the user could then filter out by phrase, users, that is custodians, and even date ranges. They would then send that to a case. We're now back in the case, and after the main review, adding redactions and creation of a production set and exporting these, the case manager, a senior legal user, can then summarize the case. Let's see how the AI assistant can help with this. We are going to ask it to create a full report from the resulting dataset, broken down into case summary, custodians involved, topics discussed, and a timeline of the document set. And then we're going to ask it to build bulleted lists under each section. So let's go ahead and run that query. As you can see, this information is essential in providing reports for Ecom's surveillance officer involved in investigating a potential insider threat policy violation. Normally, they would have to spend hours creating structured reports, often formalized for internal compliance, legal teams, and even possibly regulators. So the AI assistant can certainly save them a lot of time in creating these reports.